So what do you do when your life seems to come to a halt and you're stuck in a place and it looks like the walls are crumbling on you and you're shut in a door and you have no choice or you have no idea what to do? Well, welcome to Heal the Hurting with Leke-Aladekoba, and with me today we're going to be talking about serious issues. I have the beautiful and delectable Christine Pearson with us today. Can we welcome Christine? Thank you, Christine.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So, in case you're wondering, when did I meet this fine woman? Because very fine. So, we met, if you watched the very first episode when I talked to you about International School of Ministries, that was where I met Christine. We ended up being in the same group to do our project. And, you know, her personality, her person, how she carried herself, you know, stood out to me. And of course, you can tell we became very, very fun. We became good friends. And I'm just here. And when I got talking with Christine, I mean, we got talking and you shared some of your story with us. I knew I just had to bring her on today. So if you don't mind, after we welcome you, do you want to tell us a bit about yourself and then we'll delve deep into the story?
Thank you. Thank you. I'm Christine Seze.
Christine Pearson, please. Something happened. Do you want to tell us what happened?
Not to bore you with such a long story, but I'm just going to give you an overview that the issue did not start when the baby was 3 weeks. It started years ago. I want to say 6 years before that day or that time.
Wow.
I was married, and to me that was a win.
Yeah.
Because I come from a family where the women are very independent. So they struggle to stay in a home. Before the marriage, I saw some signs, but I was like,
red flag.
Okay, red flags. It's okay. Once we get married, we can face that. It's nothing that, we can deal with it. But what I didn't know is what a person shows you before
marriage.
Marriage is just a tip of what you will see when you get in. It doesn't get any better. No, I know a lot of people think it's going to get better. It doesn't.
Or do you think, I think sometimes women, not to cut you, we feel like when we get married, we can change the man.
No, you can never change a person like that. They are who they are. And if they're showing you, actually it's a good thing. For me, seeing red flags is a blessing. Every time you see that, it's a sign that God is warning you. Go back, sit down, beyond the emotions, think.
Okay.
We put our emotions into relationships.
A lot of time.
Yeah, we don't bring logic in. Or sometimes even intuition. Your gut is telling you something, but you're so much in love. Your human heart says, oh, I want to go for it. It will get better. But it never does. I've seen it over and over. And so I got married and it just didn't get any better, like I said. It was getting worse and worse. And at this point, I started building a shield for myself because I didn't want anybody to know.
Oh, wow.
What was going on.
So you were just taking it all in.
Taking it on in. And I remember there was a day I was on the phone with my uncle, my mother's younger brother. And he asked me, who are you on the phone with? I said, oh, my uncle. He knew his name. I called him by his name. And he walked over and grabbed the phone with my ears and pulled it and smashed the phone. My uncle on the other side heard it before the phone got smashed. And he called my sister, like, go to your sister and check what's going on. It doesn't look good. So my sister came. My sister's like, what? Is this what you're going through? I'm going to tell her that now. And I was so angry. I said, if you dare tell anybody about my home, you will have to deal with me.
So just a quick question. You were angry. Why were you angry?
I was angry because I was trying to protect my home.
Okay.
most of the time when you're in an abusive relationship, you protect it and you protect yourself. You build
It's a form of protection, but is it really protection?
No, it's not. See, the way God created us, there is a mechanism in us that when you're in danger, there is something called the protector.
Yeah.
It hides you and it makes you feel like it's not happening, but it is happening. And that was what was happening. I built like a safe place for myself.
Yeah.
And this was all illusional. It's not real. But I wanted to be in a place where nobody knows what's going on. It's me. I can deal with it. And again, I was trying to prove something. Remember, I say women in my family are very independent.
Yeah.
And before I got married, I mentioned I'm originally from Togo. My ex-husband is from Nigeria. So my parents had an issue with that. But I still went ahead. Because of that, I wanted to prove to them that I was right.
Ugh.
I wanted to prove to them that they were wrong while I was suffering.
In silence.
In silence. So I told my sister, don't tell anybody anything. And I was so defensive. I said, well, if it's that easy, go and get married yourself. I'm younger than you. Well, she got upset and left. I had just exposed myself to more abuse because now he knew. You have no covering. No one is coming for you. I own you. So we kept going, and my mother at some point realized what was going on, and she decided to move me to the US. But I didn't know. It was one of my uncles that told me, do you know what your mother did? I said, no. She said, she tried to move you away from him. I was like, well, that's not going to work.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's in the US. I don't want to be there anyway. I'll go back. And that's what I did.
You went back. Okay.
I relocated to the US and kept going back. Kept going back. And ended up with 4 children. After the 3rd one, I realized that this is not healthy. And I'll tell you why. Sometimes we are so selfish. In abusive relationship, we are trying to protect ourselves. But what you don't know is that you are not the only victim. Your children are victims.
Yeah.
And it does not stop there. If this issue is not faced, their children will be victims.
So like there's a generational pattern.
Yeah. So after the 3rd child, I knew I can't continue like this.
But before you say how you, what made you come to that realization that I knew, like you said, you knew I couldn't continue? Because I mean, you'd been there all this while. What was the defining moment?
There were many. Why I say there were many was something will happen. I would say, that's it. But then I'll go back and say, you're a Christian. Divorce is not acceptable. We've been taught divorce is not acceptable. So every time I thought of it, I would say, no, I won't do it. Then something else will happen. But the day my 3-year-old told me, Mommy, you are just like a Rapunzel in a castle. So Rapunzel, for those that watch Disney, is a character, the princess in a castle. She was in a castle, but she was a slave.
Yeah.
How can a 3-year-old tell you that?
She'd seen something.
3-year-old?
Yeah.
Telling you a Rapunzel? And the way she said it, you were just happy, like Rapunzel in a castle. My son was 6. I have only one son. He was 6 and he said, Mommy, the night before I get married, I'm going to go out and I'm going to mess up. I said, why? He said, because I will get married the next day. I said, but why will you go and mess up? He said, I will touch all the girls. And I said, oh, why will you do that? He said, because when I get married, I want my wife to control me. I don't want me to control my wife like you.
Oh, wow. 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 I mean, what thoughts were going through your mind?
Okay. It can't be selfish anymore. There's more damage than what you think is happening.
Yeah.
This is bad.
Yeah.
So I suggested counseling. Just give you an overview. The story is long. Suggested counseling. Every time I suggested it was like, oh, we are the one that, counsel people in their marriage. Nobody counsels us. I tried everything. I even went to my pastors at the time and told them, I said, hey, this marriage, I'm about to die in this marriage. I can't do it anymore. Because the abuse was not just, it was verbal, it was physical, it was emotional. This is a thing people don't know. Financially, I had everything.
Mm-hmm.
I never had to work. I didn't have to work. This is tricky because a lot of women think, oh, if he's providing, then we're good. No. He's providing. He's giving you everything. We say the devil comes to steal, to kill, to destroy. Most people think he'll take something from you. Mm-hmm. The thing is, what is he bringing that is actually ripping you off of what you're supposed to have?
Yeah.
So I had to make up my mind. Mm-hmm. Is either I stay here with money and everything that I needed, or save me and my descendants. It was a hard decision to make. Because at this point, I had everything. Now, if I leave, what was going to happen?
You have maybe nothing? Where do you start from?
How do I move forward? 3 kids. Let me tell you how God does this. By 2012, I had sent every request and made sure that divorce will happen.
But did you know you were pregnant at the time?
No. We get there.
Okay.
Everything, 2012, by December, we need to go our separate ways and everything. Then he said, oh, can you guys meet me in France for a vacation? I was like, at this point, we should not be stay together or be doing fun activities together. We need to be on our own. But again, I went to church. I was like, hey, this is happening. Yeah, you're still married. I had a spiritual mother then, and I confided in her. I said, look at the situation. I want to leave. I will tell you more about that later on. But she said, yeah. As long as you're his wife, you have to do wife duties.
Oh, okay.
As long as you are his wife. Not mentioning that before that, she was one of the people that I went to first because I wanted to hear the voice of God. It's amazing how we don't consult God when we're getting into it, but when it gets bad,
we run to God. Yeah.
We quickly run to God to say, I want to hear your voice. But let me say, at that point, I knew better.
Mm-hmm.
I was a new convert by the time I got married. So she said, you want to do what? I said, I want to divorce. She said, you'll go to hell. That was the only thing she told me.
Okay.
She never said anything after that. She said, you'll go to hell. Well, I was broken. And I took my bag and I left. So now I'm in this marriage that I don't like the man. Talk less of loving at this point. But I'm stuck.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we watch those series on TV and we see people killing their spouses and we are like, oh, they're the devil. If you don't have Christ inside of you, if you don't remain in God, these are things that can happen.
Did you ever have thoughts like that?
No,
Okay.
I couldn't because I was so grounded in Christ that I needed an escape versus any evil or calamity that will happen in a home. But I went to France and I got pregnant.
Wow.
And I remember every single day from the time I realized I was pregnant, I cried every single day.
Wow.
Every single day I cried. Say, God, how? How? Now, I'm born again. I wouldn't think of abortion or anything. But here we have found ourselves. How can you have a child in this situation? This is not good. But I carried the pregnancy and I had my wonderful child that you met. She's she's my ride or die. I had the child and he was there, and every single day it was pain and pain and pain. The baby was over 9 pounds.
Wow.
And I had a natural delivery, so my body was still all right. To tell you how bad it was, we came home the third day and my sister offered to make food for him. And he said, no, she has to stand and cook for me. I was pale. I had lost so much blood. And my sister said, no, she's not well. He said, she has to do it. So I put the baby in a car seat that you come from the hospital, put it on a counter, and made food for him, and he ate. And here I was bleeding. By the way, with that delivery, I bled for 2 months nonstop. There were so many other things that we won't have time to get into today, but maybe in our next episode. But those 3 weeks that led to that decision, every single night I will call on God. Can't do this anymore. I'm tired. Here I am with 4 kids. I didn't know how to move forward. And to tell you, many women go through this, but either you know the sign and you overlook it, or you just don't know. One way that they will cripple you is to make sure that they give you everything financially. But then you can't leave. So once I knew what was happening, I started preparing myself. And I told him, I said, hey, I'm going to need some kind of help because I have to go back to school. And he was like, no. He said, what do you want to do? I said, information technology. And he said, no, you have to be a doctor. So you have to go to medical school. So, okay. First, I'm not a nurse. I don't like anything that has to do with needles and...
I mean, after...
How do you just get up and say someone has to do?
Medical doctor, yeah.
Now we're like, Nigerians, forgive me, but it's like I married a medical doctor, I married a lawyer.
Yeah, I married an engineer. Titles, yeah.
So I'm like, no, I won't do it. It's like, well, if you do it, then from now on you have to find yourself. And he meant it. That was the last time he ever provided for the children and I.
Okay.
Yeah. So I said, okay. But when everything around you is saying no, but inside is saying, go for it, go for it, go for it. Everybody else has said no to divorce. Everybody. When I say everybody, the church, society, friends, family, Everybody said no to divorce. Sometimes I had to ask myself, okay, am I a bad person? Is something wrong with me?
So you were so more like you got in a situation where you were beginning to question yourself.
Not to mention that at this point, I lost my identity completely. It wasn't me. That person wasn't me.
A shadow of yourself.
Shadow of myself. Shadow of myself. I remember a few months ago, I usually talk to God in the shower. And I said, I was having this conversation. I said, God, how dare he say he owns me? And God told me, does he not own you? He owned you. Because the day you gave yourself and traded who you are for what he was giving you, you traded
yourself. Wow, that's deep. That's deep.
Then I had to repent. Say, God, I'm sorry. I repent. I didn't know any better. Restore. Restore me. Because healing is not instant.
It's not. It's a journey.
It's a journey. It's a progressive work.
Yeah.
It's a journey that you have to walk. And sometimes it can be really painful. Sometimes you have to take accountability for the wrongs that you did.